Hi everybody, it's Helen here at Yarn Doc, and I am coming with a boxing from a new yarn company, or a new to me yarn company called My Searose. And I went searching for this because I was looking for a particular kind of yarn, this one here, the Brady Ombre. And I had trouble finding it anywhere. Most of the colors were sold out. But I did find it here at My Searose for cheaper than I could find it on Amazon, which was the only other place that still had this yarn in it. And so I found this company and I'm like, doesn't, I don't know, it didn't really sound like a yarn company to me, but they had a really nice website, and I was going through and placing my order, and then I saw that I could get a discount. I'm always looking for the discount if I place my order through the app. And so I downloaded the app, and yes, as soon as you open it, there's the code for an app order discount. I think it was only like 5%, but hey, 5% that stays in my pocket is 5% that stays in my pocket, which means more yarn at some point. So I went for that. But what I noticed when I was putting everything from the website cart into the app cart is there were more options for the yarns in the app than there were on the website. So things that the website said were sold out were available when I ordered them through the app. So of course I ended up ordering more. I did order enough so that I could get free shipping. And I don't know if that was a Europe thing, a Germany thing, what that is. So that might also be possible where you live and where you're getting your stuff shipped to. It wasn't high shipping otherwise, but if I can get more yarn and not pay for shipping rather than less yarn and shipping, I get more yarn. Just makes sense to me. So again, it's called My Searose. I will put a link to the website in the description box, and you can check it out. They had some really good prices. I went only looking for LoopNCraft Brady Ombre and actually the LoopNCraft products. It's not a big line as far as I can tell, but I wanted to do a review of their products. And I found that, you know, if I spent a certain amount, and it wasn't high, I think it was only like 55 euros, or maybe it was 69, but I think it was pretty low for free shipping. And they were having a big sale on Nako yarn, and I wanted to do a Nako yarn review series. So this is what we're going to see, some LoopNCraft and some Nako today. So I'm going to start with the reason I went, and the reason I discovered this is LoopNCraft's Brady Ombre. I don't know if you've seen yarn in the braid before, but these are like individual balls that loop into each other. And so I just think it's cool. I like seeing yarn in a braid, but you take them apart and then just work with them like a little ball of yarn. But they're small enough that you don't really have to wind them, or that you can just work in the balls. And here you can see it's the ombre, where they're pulling some of the color from the one before into the next one all the way down. And this isn't white. It is pale, pale, pale yellow. So it doesn't go from orange to white, but orange to very pale yellow. It's pretty. It's called Sunshine, I think. Sunshine, which is great today because it's a dark, rainy day. It looks like there's great sunlight coming in here, but it's not. It's been raining all morning, and it's very dreary out there. So a little bit of sunshine is nice. Oh, sun. It's in German. Sonne. So I brought the sun in with it. What can I tell you about it? It is recommending a crochet hook size of 2 to 4 millimeters. I think that's kind of small. He is not a small yarn. I would say he's a 4, maybe a fat 3, but he's looking like a 4, a worsted weight to me. You can see there that he's chain spun. So that's when the yarn is put together in loops like a chain. So very good. And one of the things that is good about a chain spun yarn is it doesn't tend to get split on your hook as you're working it up. So for me, I think that hook size is small. I would be more likely to go with a 5 or a 6 millimeter on it, but everybody crochets differently and everybody's tension is different. So go with what works for you. I think I would have trouble with a 2 millimeter and a yarn, you know, a worsted weight yarn, but everybody's different. 70% cotton, 30% polyester, 250 grams. So there's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, with 7 skeins. So that doesn't divide very evenly. No, because 5 times 5, yeah. There's some interesting math in here as far as we go, and I'm not going to try to do it in my head because 7 doesn't go very easily into 250. There is a gauge chart for those of you who use gauge. I don't very often because I'm not typically working on projects where that matters very much. But if you are, there is a gauge chart there. They do have a dye lot on them. So if that's important to you, you want to make sure you get enough to do your whole project so that you're not trying to go back and match dye lots. So I will be doing a larger review on each one of the yarns that you see today. So you can look for that. I don't have necessarily a specific project in mind. I just wanted to see this one, hold it, feel it, and learn a little bit more about it. And I will share what I discover with you in a future video. So that's the Brady Ombre from LoopNCraft. Then when I was there, they had most of their LoopNCraft stuff on sale. And so naturally, I got whatever else I could get from them. And my initial impressions of this one is pleasantly surprised, I will say. So this is the LoopNCraft Soft Cake. And soft cake is a very, very accurate description of this product. LoopNCraft yarns are made in Turkey. It just is so soft. Let's see what it's made out of. Maybe that'll explain why it's just so soft. Let's see, composition, 55% cotton, 45% acrylic. This might be the softest cotton acrylic blend that I've felt. And I've been holding today a lot. I've been playing with baubles of cotton acrylic blends, and this one is noticeably softer in a silky soft kind of way. It's just really nice to touch. And when I do these, I just so much want to go here, touch it, feel it, see for yourself. If you're techie, figure that out. Figure that technology out so I can just sort of pass it and you can go, oh yeah, that is soft. I'm always going to hand it to you because it's just instinctual. 250 grams weight, 1,000 meters. We again have a gauge chart on it. What else can I tell you? They're recommending a knitting needle size 2 to 4 millimeter. And that is probably what I would use as far as crochet hooks. It is your 3-ply, which means, oh, no, it's a 4-ply. I lied to you. I'm so sorry. Which means you've got 4 strands there that you hold together when you work the product and pull them together, and you've got about a sport weight. And I like their slogan, one ball, one shawl. One ball, one shawl. So that's what they're suggesting I make. So I think that's what I'm going to make with it. I thought this colorway was very pretty. They didn't have a lot left because they were on sale. So this was $9.99, and I'm talking euros here, not dollars. So 9.99 euros, which is a very good deal. I'm going to ignore that it says that. Many people do, but I'm just not very good at it. So I like crocheting. But if you're a knitter, you're going to love the message that it sends to you. This does say machine washable, dry flat, do not bleach. But in my review, I will do a sample and put it through all its paces. So washer, dryer, we'll see what happens. I risk my yarn, so you don't have to risk yours. And we'll see how it does. But I am so pleasantly surprised by my first impressions of this cake. I really like the colorway. It's really gorgeous. I've been working with high-end, really artistic cakes today, and this would have fit in quite nicely, and yet it's so soft, like it's lusciously soft. So that's the LoopNCraft soft cake. That I will. Soft cake consisting of 5 color transitions is ideal for knit and crochet garment projects. Absolutely. That is a cotton acrylic blend that you want on your skin. Okay. I'll stop doing that. Everything else I got was Nako, and I kind of got a ball of just about everything that I could. I got more than one ball of some things, including the Angora Luxe color. Part of the reason I got several of these is one cake is enough for a nice scarf, a really nice scarf. And perfect for those cold winter days. So I am thinking Christmas presents and stuff like that. So I'm already sort of preparing for that part of the year. Yes, I know we're just about to go into summer, but it takes a while to hook everything up that I want to make for everybody. So I'm already thinking that way. So, and these were such a good deal, $3.95 per cake. And so I got several colorways. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. Like gorgeous neutral. I'm making this one for a very close family friend, godfather to several of our children. And that brown colorway is something that he wears a lot of. So I just thought it would be nice for him. Now, it came like this, and this is the first time I've ever gotten a Nako that came like this. So I'm just going to say, okay, it's some kind of fluke, but it's not even really where it starts, and it's all sort of come out because the starting is in here. So I don't know what that was, but I'm gonna be generous and say, okay, it was some sort of fluke. But this one is 5% mohair, 15% wool, and 80% premium acrylic. And it's soft, but you do get that little mohair, like gives that fluffy texture to the softness. So the yarn itself is soft, but then you get that little bit of extra fluffy soft added to it. And I really like that. What else can I say? So it's hand wash on cold, do not put in the dryer, do not iron, all these things. I will do a larger review. I'm going to put them on this side because it's better angle for them. Where I throw samples into the washer and dryer, and we'll see what happens. So look for that. And that's going to be true throughout. So I'm not going to say that with every yarn. That's just true throughout. Keep your eyes open for the Nako series. What else can I tell you about? Nako is also made in Turkey. That line there. And I am guessing that a lot of what I can't read is Turkish, which is, I guess, a form of Arabic. It is suggesting a 2.5 millimeter hook because it's very thin. It's a very, very thin weight. Oh, sort of a one weight. There is a gauge chart on each of these sleeves, so you will know that. They're 150 grams, 810 meters. So this is also sort of shawl size or a large oversized scarf. You can do that with one. So I got this colorway, which now we see how good my Arabic is. Where is it? Okay, what I believe is I've got the color number, which is 82359, and then they have a dye lot as well. I think that rank is color and parti is dye lot. But this much Arabic. So if I don't have that correct, please bear with me, but I will put links to the site up there in the description box, and then I'll put the pictures on the site as well. On the website, they were sold out. I only had one of these in my cart on the website because they had so few options left. And then when I went into the app, there were a lot more options. It's also not the only site you can get Nako. Nako you can get many, many places. This was a particularly good price for these. So I've got that beautiful brown, and then I also got it in two other colorways. I don't know why, maybe you're going to call me a little sexist, but I particularly like these for doing men's like really solid winter scarves. And they have some really great colorways that we typically think of as being in that masculine palette. So this one I really, really like, and I have somebody in mind for this one. And then again, I've got this nice pinky, purpley, gray. And you can see you've got a lot of variation in the colorway, a lot of shades and tones in that. And so I think it'll work up really pretty. So again, €3.95. You can't leave it in the store at that price. You just can't, or I can't. Now these, I haven't had these before. And I kind of thought, I was kind of expecting something that looked like this. But this is the Nako Agorella. And it is their acrylic faux Angora. So these actually have Angora wool and mohair. The Agorella is acrylic that's designed to mimic Angora, but they came much smaller. Yeah. And it could be that I just wasn't paying as much attention, because those do say they're 250 grams and these do say they're 100 grams in my mind, you know? So do be aware of that. If you're looking at one and then you start to look at the acrylic version, I was just thinking, okay, this is the acrylic version of that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you're a much more careful shopper than I am. But I wasn't careful, and I just thought, okay, this is the acrylic version of this. And so I'd had the Angora Luxe before. There's one of them right up there. In the pink and white colorway up there. And so that's just what was in my mind. So when I saw these, I was a little bit like, oh, that might not make a scarf, but it might make a more traditional, thinner weight scarf, because it's 100 grams and that gives you 400 meters. I could be a little tight. And it's also thin, which you probably can tell from 400 meters in 100 gram cake. But it's about a 2. So I actually think that this is even a little bit thicker than that. The 2 in there. So this one, I would still think of this one as closer to fingerling or a 1. And this is more sport at a 2. They're close. You know, when we're talking about these sort of thicknesses, it can be an optical illusion. They can be quite close. So, so this is 100% premium acrylic, but it does feel like Angora. You know, that soft sort of furry feel that you get. And you get, like, the first one gets that halo from the mohair, but here you do still have that furry halo, which you don't really associate with an acrylic yarn. So I got a ton of these, thinking, I think the colorways are so pretty. I like the rich, deep colors of the options in this yarn, and sorry, I just think it's so great. I'm already thinking ahead to fall. I've sort of skipped summer, like not happening, and I'm thinking about fall, and I'm thinking about scarves in particular. And I just think that that is so beautiful. And the way that that is going to stripe up, it's just, I mean, to me, just looking at that color says autumn. Especially here where we get most of these colors on our trees as they're starting to, just before they lose their leaves. I live in good tree peeping country. So that one was beautiful. This one, we also have those deep, typically masculine colorways, but just so, like, I don't have anything other than numbers. They don't have color names, but I want to call that pumpkin spice. To me, that's what that said. Pumpkin spice latte. I look at that and I'm like, pumpkin spice muffin. I'm going to take a bite. So I got that in several colorways just because I thought they were so pretty. And I just like the really rich colors that are involved here. Oh, this one is like extra soft. But here you can really, really see the colors. And I feel like, you know, sometimes when I see it on the screen there, I'm like, oh, that is not what I'm seeing in person. I think you're really seeing the colors quite accurately. Or at least they appear on the screen the way they're appearing in my hand. Like I said, I got a few of those. And perfect. And I still think that I can get a good sort of traditional width scarf out of these, out of each ball. I'll let you know when I do a review. But it's a great, if you can, it's a great way to just sit down, sort of whip out a present that is feels luxurious and high end, but just with one little cake. Whether that actually works out, I'll let you know. Now, everything else I just got one ball of because I'm just going to test it out. I don't think I've only had one of these before. So they are all new to me. I haven't worked with them. I want to get the chance to try them out, see how they work up, see how the recommendations are, though I'm noticing that Nako really focuses on knit and not crochet, so there aren't crochet hook sizes. And I think knitters, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think splitting and stuff like that happens much more with crochet and is a bigger problem with crochet than with knit. But I could be totally wrong, and if I am, knitters, tell me. I need a little more knit education because, like, I can knit one, purl two kind of thing, and that's it. That's the best I can do. So I'm going to start with Bonbon Luxe. Oh, I will tell you that I picked colors that are bright, one, so they'll show well on camera, but also because I do the washer and dryer test, which I said I wasn't going to mention again, but I am. I pick colors that if we have any kind of fade from the dryer in particular, we should notice it more on those colors than, say, a pastel or something that's pale to begin with. So that explains some of my color choices. So Bonbon Luxe here in this lovely burnt orange. That's coming out brighter on camera. Get it away from the light a little bit. It's more, that's better. It's more this burnt orange that you're sort of getting in this part of the camera than with the light. The sun decided to come out. I pulled out the sun, and actually it pulled out the sun. That's great. Maybe I've spent too much time by myself with yarn today. So it's a 100-gram ball, 240 meters. Has a gauge chart. It is saying hand wash and dry. Knitting needle recommendation 4 to 4.5. Did I say it's 100% acrylic? If not, it's 100% acrylic. It's soft. That is looking thicker on camera, I think, than it is. I would say it's a 3 weight. I would say it's a DK, but it could be on the border between 3 and 4. Could be in that, I don't know which side of the scale I'm going on. I think I spent too much time alone with yarn today. Cracking myself up. I gotta crack somebody up. It feels soft. What did I pay for him? I paid $2.49. So I would put that in that value acrylic category. And for a value acrylic, very soft. Very soft. Does have a little sheen, not nearly as much as it. Sorry, son. It's great to have you, but not right now. It doesn't have nearly as much as it looked like on camera with that sunshine coming in. So that is more. So you've got a little bit of sheen, but not like shine. Sheen, but not shine. It feels nice. Like you would be happy to wear something made out of this against your skin. So that's Bon Bon Luxe. We will see how he works. And then following Bon Bon Luxe is Bon Bon Cristal. Not as soft. No, this feels more like a value acrylic. And he's cheaper. Okay, so he's $1.99. And for $1.99, he feels nice. Like he's not scratchy, he's not rough, he's not, yeah, he's not grabby. It's soft still, but holding the Luxe and then holding Cristal, you want to go back to holding the Luxe, but he's not soft. Yeah. No, that's not an issue. Thinner. Cristal is thinner. Now he's on the border between a 2 and a 3. Like quite thin. I would say sport weight on this. 100 grams, 475 meters. Than what we see on just about everything now. Hand wash, no dryer. We'll see about that. That's what I always say, especially when it's 100% acrylic. I just don't see any reason not to. So we will see. And again, I got a nice vivid color so that when I do wash and dry it, we can see about fade and color retention. Plus, it's such a pretty purple. Really is pretty. And here, what you're seeing in the sun is a pretty good representation of what he is. He is a dark purple, but he's that dark purple that when the light hits it, you get that bright sort of purple that comes through. I mean, and purple's really the color that does that the most, right? Where it's really dark, but then you sort of twist and in the light, you see more dimension to the color. That's sort of a unique to purple thing. Knitting needles. Whoo, that small print. 3 to 3.5. And I might use a 3 crochet hook on it, but yeah, I'll probably use 2 or 2.5. He's very thin. Yeah, I'm taking back sport weight. That's fingerling weight. So it's like a value acrylic, but fingerling weight. I kind of usually think of value acrylics in the 3 and 4, but this one's thin, soft. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking him. It just after the Luxe, anything was going to feel a little bit less soft. But as I'm just holding him, yeah. In comparison to say like a Grundle of the Lisa or the Big Mama or that, you'd definitely rather be holding this than that. Okay. Then Nako BB 100. This also feels nice. They're good at soft. Nako is really seems to be very good at soft. This one I believe is 100% acrylic too. Yep. This one they say is 100% premium acrylic. So they're telling me that this is not a value acrylic. It's a premium acrylic, but I would put it in the value acrylic category myself. It is $2.25, just a touch thicker. It's sort of between the Bonbon Luxe and the Bonbon Crystal, but it's a 3. I mean, that's DK weight there. It's DK weight. Again, I got us a nice bright color, so we'll see if there's any fade to it. And I just thought it was pretty and nice, vivid, wake you up in the morning kind of color. 100 grams, 360 meters in here. Here we do get a crochet hook size, which is, they're saying 2.5. I think that's a little small. I think you could get away with certainly a 3.5, but I might even go with a 4. But then again, I do crochet quite tightly. So it's gonna go based on your own personal gauge and flow. They do have a gauge chart on here. It is so tiny, and the white on this peachy color is quite difficult to read. So if you have better eyes than I do, that might help you in some way. And I'm not telling you, so the color number is 236. They're all numbers. I'll put the colorways up and what's available in each on the screen. Here, you know, with colors like this, I think dye lot becomes more important. I know some people are religious about dye lots and some people aren't. I think it sort of depends on your project, your colors, modern technology, especially with sort of mass-produced yarn and not hand-dyed yarn. I think they get it pretty close most of the time, that for most people's eyesight, you're not going to see a difference. But when you've got these vivid colors, and if you're working them right, so one dye lot against another, you might see a difference. So I would encourage you to get enough for whatever project you're working on, which for somebody like me who tends to buy yarn and then when they have a project, go look at their yarn and not buy yarn for a project, that's when dye lots can be problematic. So just something to note on Nako. The next one is a more luxurious Nako. I just love the prices of Nako, really. $2.95. $2.95. And here we are doing, it's called Mohair Delicate Color Flow. That's the name of the, I've got like glare right where their logos are and sleeves are very shiny. So it's really hard to get them to show on camera. You sort of like doing a little dance between the yarn and the camera. That's a whole different kind of entertainment that I wasn't expecting to put on my channel. But this is 5% mohair, 10% wool, and 85% premium acrylic. And you can, he's soft, but he's wool soft, if you know what I mean. Like, this is acrylic soft. It's silky, it's smooth, it's like butter soft, you know, that smooth. My mother's watching going, oh, that's greasy, don't use that. But But it's that, sort of slide over it kind of soft. Whereas this is wool soft, where it sort of grabs you in a little bit and says, squish me, squish me. So don't pet me, but squish me. It's kind of hard to describe levels of soft. I want to go here, feel it, see. But here you're going to see the difference between what I'm saying with the squish me kind of soft. You can see all the halo and the hairs that are, the fibers that are coming off of that, making it fluffy and give you that squishy texture. And that comes from the wool content. So this one is 100 grams, 500 meters. I'd say that's a DK, decent DK. They are saying crochet hook size 3, needle size 3.5 to 4, which is interesting because I always thought that when you have needle size, knitting needle size, you go up a size for crochet hooks. But I see often now on labels that they're going down a size for the crochet hooks. So maybe I was miseducated, or something has changed in the mindset, or maybe I was just totally wrong all of this time. Any knitters know that? Usually they have, if they have a recommendation, they have a knitting recommendation and not a crochet hook recommendation. So perhaps this is a problem that is unique to the crochet community, but we can discuss. We're not in a Betty Heckman novel. We don't dislike each other, right? Or maybe you do. Knitters, are you after me? Do you find my craft inferior? I don't know. I always get a kick out of that in her novels. So this is really quite pretty. It's got, it's not that tweed, it's not puzzle, but it's sort of got that kind of texture pattern to it that would give you a similar effect to what you get with these tweed yarns that are so popular at the moment, or the puzzle yarn, which, really had a heyday in the last couple of years. Oh, but I like it's sort of subtle. So you've got lots of variation and detail in it, but I don't think it would work up to look busy. And so very interesting, but so many colors. Can you see all the, the teals and the browns and the blues and the greens, and like you can really, it's like a babushka doll. Every layer, I've got something else coming out. So anyway, very pretty. Looking forward to working that up. And this I do have a project in mind for, so hopefully I can do my samples and still get my project out of it. I've gone luxe again. I've gone cotton luxe with Nako. So it is not 100% cotton though. I was going to say, because that 100% cotton feel, that sort of stiffer, the grab, you touch it and you immediately think kitchen, make pot holders, makes hand towels, these kinds of things. It does not have that feel to it. It has a much softer, and it's interesting that they call it soft cotton. It's 60% soft cotton. I don't know that is an actual cotton category. I know mercerized, I know Mako, I know Pima. I don't know soft as if it's a specific kind of fiber, but it is accurate description. So 60% soft cotton, 40% premium acrylic. It's 100 grams, 330 meters. Color number 97575. You feel like you're typing something. Like, I think they could have called it raspberry. You know, like something that gives you this mindset. Or I don't know my kinds of roses, but it does, to me, it looks like a rose petal. Again, we've got light messing with color there. There we go. That is much more accurate visual of what I'm seeing in person. And it's really a very beautiful color. Beautiful. I would, if I'd gotten more, which I didn't, and here again, I might actually care about dye lot. I'm going to turn the light back on because, oh, let there be light. Because with such a bright, vivid color, I would be a little nervous, but I'd be quite happy to have a shirt made out of this. Yeah. It's a nice cotton. Be more than happy to have that against my skin. And it is such a beautiful color. It's like the perfect red-pink combination. So that's Cotton Luxe. Cotton Luxe. Let's see it again. I'm going to try. If I have butchered the pronunciation of this, forgive me. Incy Deluxe. What do you think that is? N-I-C-I. Incy Deluxe. Yeah. It feels deluxe. It feels deluxe. I realize I'm really bad at giving prices. $2.95. $2.95 that feels like $6. That might be the best description I can give you of how nice, sorry. It just feels nice. It just feels nice. Cotton Luxe was $3.69 a ball, which I actually think for the way in which it feels, and yeah, my initial impression is that it's worth that. $3.69. And Mohair Delicate, I don't think I told you either. $2.95. Did I tell you that? Okay. Sorry, I do these like I shop and don't pay enough attention to the pricing. Or at least that's what my husband would say. So this is 100% premium acrylic anti-pilling. So at least that's what it says. That grabbed me. If you've been watching me for any length of time, you know I have 7 kids. I do 3 to 4 loads of laundry every day. Most things have to go washer dryer. And when we're talking about anything that I've made out of yarn, eventually we're going to get pilling on it. So I want to put that to the test and see. But that is, it feels really nice. You know, it could be one of these go-to yarns. I don't think they have a huge colorway in it yet, which is one of the things that I find so disappointing about so many brands and their anti-pilling. Even Ice Yarns that has like these humongous colorways in their anti-pilling, they give you like 12 options. And it's like, I need all the colors of the rainbow in all their various shades, please. This is also made in Turkey. Speaking of Ice Yarns, like Ice Yarns. Recommends a 3.5 hook. It's a good DK. Good DK. it might even be a thin worsted. Could even be a thin worsted. I think it's DK. Everybody sees these things a little differently, but I'm going to go with a 3 on that. This particular color is 11251, or as I like to call it, English Rose. I think they should get me to rename all of their colors for them. What else can I tell you? Again, for the knitting needles, they go a size up, 4 to 4.5. So that's interesting to me. So there's that one. This is the one that I've had before and this is definitely a 4, I would say. This is the Nako Mona Lisa. This is a nice, it's just a nice yarn. I've again gone with one of these rose flowery colors for the saturation. This is $2.49 a ball. Sorry, I've got the coffees today. Not in coffee, but I haven't had enough of that. 100% premium acrylic. Sorry. Yeah, 100% premium acrylic. Again, anti-pilling. Feels lovely and soft. If you're using value acrylics, and then you held this for roughly what you would pay for a value acrylic, you would use this. Again, the problem is the colorway. You can only get a handful of colors, and when I'm thinking premium acrylic and wanting to have that colorway on hand and available, I want all the colors of the rainbow in the various shades. I want that spectrum. I'm sounding like my 4-year-old now. I want. But 100 grams, 172 meters. Anytime he says, I want ice cream, I want gummies, I say, I want $1 million in a house in Croatia. And then he says, may I have a gummy, please? That usually gets him the gummy. He's learned. This says machine washable. Reason to buy it right there. Again, tune in. We will see. But Nako Mona Lisa might be the Mona Lisa of premium acrylics or value acrylics. One more and I will let you go. This has been a long one. I'm sorry for that you've had to listen to me talk so long. This is Nako Estiva Silky. I'm trying to get it so that it doesn't glare and you can read they're very shiny. So this is 52% cotton and 48% bamboo. Oh yes. It is 100 grams, 224 meters. Color number 6955. Again, no washer, no dryer, yada yada. At this point, I'm like, yeah, yada yada. Nice tight weave on that. Focus, focus. Come on, camera, cooperate. You don't want to cooperate. There we go. We'll do it this way then. Good DK. Good DK weight. Feels nice. They really know how to do their cotton blends. One of the things I will look for on this is it's got bamboo in it, and bamboo is famous for being splitty. I'll see. It, to me, just looking at it, it doesn't look like a splitty yarn. But bamboo is infamous for splitting while you're working with it. So that is something I will be looking for when I go to review this. Again, I got a nice deep color so that we can see what happens when we don't follow the instructions. What else can I tell you about this? Hook size, they recommend 3.5. I can tell you right now, I will go larger than that. And same for knitting needles. So that is the recommendation there. Again, another teeny tiny gauge chart. So if that matters to you, and I could see making something out of this that gauge matters. It is soft. It would have beautiful drape. There would be beautiful drape on this. So I could see somebody wanting to make a shirt out of this. And when you're doing that, especially if you're not doing it for yourself, where you can just kind of go putting it on, which is how I do clothes for my kids. I'm like, just come here, put it on you. Okay, I need some more stitches there. But if you do, sorry about that, I got cut off just as I was ending here. All I was saying is that I could see making something, a garment or that, where gauge really mattered on this. But overall, first impressions of Nako yarn is wonderful. I am amazed at the price. This one was $3.95, by the way. Amazed at the price. Was very happy with Searose. I had it the next day, by the way. I ordered at night and I had it the next day. So super fast. They packaged it well. They even put that protective piece of cardboard at the top of the box in case you used a knife to open the box so that you wouldn't cut the yarn. I thought that was great. I'm impressed with the LoopNCraft, particularly this piece. Reserving judgment on the braid, which is the reason I placed the order, is probably my least favorite of everything that arrived in the box, at least so far. And I'm looking forward to working on this and doing this LoopNCraft and Nako series of reviews for you. So if you stuck with me this long, you might as well subscribe. You might as well thumbs up. Send me a comment. Clarify my knitting myths. Yeah, tell me what you think. I'm interested to hear. Which one are you most interested in seeing worked up and reviewed? Tell me that too. That can set my priorities. Anyway, great spending time with you. Great talking about yarn. I'll see you next time.